Good afternoon and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Providence Holy Cross Medical Center. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Dr. Thomas Polucki.
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking of quality of life and seniors, our guest this morning is Kevin MacDonald, and he's the CEO of the Santa Cruz Valley Senior Center. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
We're seeing too much of each other.
I know
you
you're
know
hanging
that,
around
don't
the senior
you?
center too much, Barbara. Good for you.
That's fine. That's fine. I love it. I love it.
All right, Dr. Tom. Good to see you both.
It's always a pleasure to have you back, Kevin. I see you've got some events going over there at Bella
It's
Vita.
picking up. It's picking up. The summer's over. We're in full swing. Fall is around the corner.
That's wonderful.
And there's lots of activities for everybody in the community over at Bella Vita. So we're excited. We're excited for this month and next month, and even the holidays are coming around the corner. So it's a good time.
For those who don't get out that much, for whatever reason, what's Bella Vita? Where is it? What's going on there?
Well, Bella Vita, it's not it's not your grandfather's senior center. Nothing against those in the day. But when we built it, we wanted to make it more of a country club for seniors. And that's really what every aspect of it, and people are sharing that same input when they come over to Bella Vita. And, it was built by, we're a private nonprofit organization, but we had help from the city and the county, and members of the community helped to build this beautiful facility. And now it's our job the last 5 years to make activities buzz there and make it a welcome center for all seniors in the community.
Even the name, Bella Vita.
Do you know what Bella Vita means?
No.
Oh,
Beautiful
Bella Vita
life,
means
yeah.
beautiful life.
Yeah.
Beautiful
So come,
life.
because our goal is to give you a beautiful life.
Beautiful
And
life.
I remember the naming of Bella Vita. We're in this boardroom of the senior center, and there was a debate on it, and someone came up with this name, and all of a sudden, I was like, this is never going to fly. And all of a sudden, it took its own thing, and now it really represents a beautiful life, but it also represents the attitude and the camaraderie and everything about the senior center at Bella Vita.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of nice. And this is Senior Center Month.
Okay, what's that
naturally.
mean?
So
Okay.
It means take advantage of your local senior center, and we're so lucky in this community to have one.
We don't just have a senior center. There is a big difference at Bella Vita.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, it's more like a country club. And it really, until you have something to compare it to, it's hard to, really relate to that. I have across the country is where I'm from. I'm from Jersey, and my mom, is definitely a good candidate. I would have her at your senior center every day. We tried to get her set up with the senior center where she lives, and it was not a good scene. I don't want to get into it, but this is something special that you've made happen here. And I know you're going to say that it's the support of the community, it's this, it's that. I just want to give you the credit that you deserve of what you've accomplished over there. It's amazing. It's an amazing facility, and thank you.
Well, thank you.
It really is, as compared to the old senior center.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
over on Market Street, but that was the availability at that
Right.
point,
And
because that's what my husband was one of the ones who was responsible for getting it started, and I was working right with him. Joanne Darcy, Stan Sierrad, which I don't think you ever met Stan. I think he passed
No, but
away.
we built
Yes.
on their foundation they
Yes.
established.
Yes, that's
And that's
right.
the most important thing. And then we build and we build and we build.
That's
and then
right, because there were very little room at the older senior center.
Right.
Because it was county-owned property, and they wouldn't build on, and I think they finally put the offices up above the actual center itself, but which gave it a little more room. But this Bella Vita is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's also,
Really
I give
is.
credit to the 110 staff and the 240 volunteers that we have with us, because they welcome people every day. And it takes more than one person, but it's them. It's just the simple greeting in the hallways, which are
Nice.
important to us, and trying to get their names down. and just making them feel welcome. And 99.9% of the people are awfully pretty happy that they're able to share in the experience.
And it's nice to, when you walk in the, hi, Barbara.
Right. Isn't that nice?
It is. It's just amazing.
Because everybody needs a little love in their life, and a little love coming
Absolutely.
from somebody over the counter is a big thing.
That's right, because as soon as that door opens, both of those, or one or two of them, most of the time there's two of them there.
Right.
Hi, Barbara.
That's nice.
Hello, Barbara. And it's such a good feeling. It really is. You really don't think about it.
Yeah.
Because people say hi to you,
Yeah.
But, well, hello, Barbara. But it's so nice to be welcomed like that.
That's nice. I had lunch the other day with one gentleman. I sat down and I said, "What'd you do for a living?" He's like, 55 years aerospace. He was the engineer. He was the guy. He says, "I'd never come to Senior Center, Kevin. I would never go to one." He said, "But a year ago, I said, I got to go over and find out what the place is about." And he's been around the community for a long time. He said, a year ago, I walked in. He says, "I use your gym. I go to lunch. That's what I do. I have a good time. Thank you." And he was having lunch and going to the gym. I was like, that's all we need. You don't have to take all these different classes and do everything else. It's where you find a place to go in your retirement years and looking for a spot to hang out for a little bit where you feel comfortable. With a decent gym and with people around you that are working out, and then you go have lunch with your friends.
And
Not a bad life.
Not
the
bad at all.
lunches are very good too. I've heard people complaining, but every meal is not fit for everybody.
No, it's a nutritionist meal, and it's a nutritionist guided by the county. And we have executive chefs from UCLA that we have hired from our Galloway homes right next to us. We have the best chefs in the county, because most of the senior centers, they contract out with their food. They get it from the city of Vernon with the big food processing plants and everything else. We do everything fresh, on-site, in our own kitchens. That's an important change.
That's amazing.
And some of the food, I don't eat rice. And
Yeah.
rice was part of the food yesterday.
Right.
But I just pushed it aside and ate the delicious, oh my goodness, the meat, the gravy, the green peppers.
So let
and
me-
they had fresh cabbage.
Let me ask Kevin. I've been to a couple of events at Bella Vita. Is the food that I had there at those events, is that coming out of your kitchen? Is that your thing?
It all depends on the events.
Okay.
It really all depends. Monday through Friday, our lunches are all from us. Some of our special Celebrity Waiter is all from us every year. All those dinners at Celebrity Waiter, our culinary team, Cindy Smith, Chef Marco Rios, they put it together with their team and try and do it up.
So I can tell you that I'm like the restaurant's nightmare, right? I am vegetarian and gluten-free, so I'm like off the charts on picky, and the food is great. The food was great at the event that I attended.
And we try to adapt for those who are vegetarian and gluten-free. Sure,
Yeah.
we know that more and more people are doing that, and we try to make those adjustments.
Well, I don't really have a choice, but that's. I know there are other. It's not the majority, but I know there are other people out there who kind of need that.
Sure.
And it's it's no small thing to be able to accommodate. So I really appreciate it.
And that's our goal, to accommodate as much as possible. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's Senior Center Month, and we're celebrating, and we're doing a whole bunch of activities this month. So
Yes,
we're
you
excited.
gave me a flyer. What's going on?
Well, as you know, we try to raise money every year in different ways. And one fun way, we've been holding concerts at the Senior Center. We held our 42nd concert.
Nice.
Since the
Can you
beginning of
believe
COVID.
that?
42nd
42.
Saturdays, we pulled on a conference, and we
Whoa.
usually charge $10 a piece. People would get online. We have 350, 400 people show up for a great concert. We have a producer out of LA that we use. We get the best bands.
Nice.
And we pay good money for them too. And we that's why we charge the $10. We should charge a lot more, but we're not in there to make a profit for those. However, in October, we're bringing a great performer. His name is Jim Curry, and he does the John Denver tribute, the #1 act in the country for John Denver. And we had him last year, and he has a slideshow presentation behind him.
Nice.
He sings like John Denver, Rocky Mountain High and Take Me Home Country Roads, all the ones we kind of grew up on. Maybe
Sure.
not you, but I did.
Yeah, no,
We have a great time listening to him. And his wife sings with him. Her name happens to be Ann, which is because John Denver's wife was Annie. Sings all the greatest hits, knows the history, has different performers that have been actually sang with John Denver as well and played with him. So we're bringing him in on October 5th, Saturday at Bella Vita. appetizers by our executive chef and our staff.
Nice.
We'll be out there in the courtyard. So it's really going to be a special evening in the courtyard to have some drinks, to have some food, to go into our grand ballroom and listen to what Jim does and brings to us. Jim Curry is his name, and it's on our website. We're excited. We're going to bring 350 people in there. Just have a fun night, raise some really needed money for the Senior Center in October. That's really going to help us out. So we're inviting you, your families, to come on by. I go to dinner. It's going to cost me $100, right, for two people.
Easy.
This is $90. You're getting a good concert. You're getting some good appetizers and some drinks, and we're going to have a good night out there.
That's awesome.
Sounds
Yeah, and it's live entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And just to,
And there's not a bad seat in the house because we're in our ballroom.
just to take issue with your comment, I remember the John Denver TV show.
Okay, there you go.
So yeah,
He was a number one artist in the 70s.
Yeah.
And how many artists were there in the 70s? He was the number one.
yeah.
Number one selling records.
Yeah.
So anyway, sing
So
those songs.
so
and
underrated.
I'm leaving on a jet plane, and we can name them all.
Yeah. Country Roads. We had to sing that in like music class.
Okay.
Like,
Well, you don't have to sing that night.
Okay.
Just keep it down and let them do the singing.
Okay,
And we're
good.
going to be okay,
Somebody
Doc.
else do the singing. You do the listening.
good.
So it's a night just to bring everyone together. It's a kind of a fun night. It's it's only $45. It's not that expensive, and it'll raise some money for us. So we're looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Something
We'll be
fun.
able to sit in the courtyard too. That courtyard is beautiful.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
we have
my
new lights in the
goodness.
courtyard, and we have our food from our chefs, and everyone's invited.
Okay, so it's Saturday, October 5th, from 4 till when?
4 o'clock is the reception.
Yeah.
And we start singing at 5
Concert
o'clock.
at 5
the concert.
o'clock.
Yeah.
So we'll go for an hour and a half, 2 hours with that concert and have a
Right.
nice time. So it's an early one, then go out to dinner with your friends.
Very nice.
Get some appetizers from us and go out to dinner. So early night and a fun night.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I'm all about the early night.
Jim Curry, the music of John Denver.
That's it.
October the 5th, Saturday.
You can get tickets at our website, myscvcoa.org. Check it out now because we will sell out.
Oh, yes.
What is that again? Sorry.
myscvcoa.org.
COA. What's that stand for?
Committee on Aging.
Look at you.
Yeah.
All right. All right, great. So what else is on the schedule?
Well, one thing that seniors need, as you know, is more than anything else is resources. So we've gotten together with our legislators last 2 years, and Assemblywoman Polucki and Senator Scott Wilk and the Senior Center put together, and they bring all the government agencies together, and they have the power to do that because they just have to call them.
Yeah.
They gather in our courtyard. We're going to have about 20 to 30 tables of resources for seniors, so they can come into the courtyard during the day. It's during the day, and take advantage of all those different resources, and that's important. Everyone's at your disposal for one day. And you just go you can table hop for what you need or what you're involved with. And, it's not people selling you anything. It's just government, city, county,
Resource.
state, federal resources at your disposal one day.
Well, there's so many things that are going on every day at the Senior Center.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, before we get into that, I want some clarification on this. So you're having an event at the Senior Center where all these services will have a table, a booth, whatever, and there's no fee for this.
No.
You just show up and you have access to all these different things that I'm embarrassed, but I don't think it's unique to me that I don't even know what I don't know about this.
Right.
So when is that?
That is on the 10th of October. It's a Thursday.
Okay.
Thursday, October 10th, and we're doing it from 9 until 1 o'clock. So those folks will just park in our parking lot, and those folks will be available to you. At the same time, we're going to hold classes. We got a great presentation on scams, and that'll be for a full hour in our ballroom. So we're shaking up. It's almost like an open house at the Senior Center. We're shaking it up a little bit, inviting everyone to come in.
So that's that same day.
Same day. We're having
So-
special workshops. We're having the courtyard full of resources for you, and you can grab a lunch while you're there.
That's amazing. Okay, and so back up a second. You said, did you say scam like fraud?
Seniors,
Like,
right. Seniors are getting scammed, and this is a workshop to say, what do you need to look out for? What do you need to worry about? What are the latest scams out there?
Yeah.
And there's an education of some of the best in the business coming to teach us for 1 hour about what to look out for so you don't
got
get taken
Jason
advantage of.
Stratham coming in.
I don't know.
Did you
We
see
gotta-
the beekeeper?
No, I didn't.
It's like the best.
Okay.
It's like the best. So he's like this, like a mercenary. He's like but he's retired. So he's in the retired life, good guy, just going back and showing some love to the one woman who took care of him, and she gets scammed, and she winds up killing herself because she's
geez.
scammed. So he like kills everybody involved in this
Okay.
scam.
Well, that's not going to happen there, but we're going to have some good education and some nice resources for people for a day. So
Okay.
Anyway, we're looking forward to that on October the 10th, a Thursday. So you don't have to sign up. Just come by the Senior Center.
Thursday, October
10th.
10th.
And
10th.
from what time?
And that's from 9 until 1.
9 to 1.
Yeah.
So
And kudos to our Assemblywoman and to our Senator for putting it together for us.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's nice to see something besides the ads that are running right now. It's
sure.
nice to see that, their office in action instead of whatever goes on at this time of year on TV.
Right.
So, yeah.
Anyway, we have that coming on. We got the beauty bus coming in. You don't know about the beauty bus,
I don't
but it's a
know
great
that.
thing. We're going to have to bring your team into the beauty bus.
Okay.
Beauty
Talk
bus
to
is
me.
actually it's an international organization, which is great, and they come in and they provide beauty to seniors. So they're going to do people's hairs, they're going to do their makeup, they're going to give you a facial, they're going to get your nails done, and they provide this during the day for the seniors. For Beauty Bus Day, so that's coming up.
nice.
So check out our website for the exact date of that. It's the last Monday in September.
Okay, so I gotta ask: is that a service that people have to pay to
No, they
participate?
don't.
in?
Another free service, thanks to the Beauty Bus and their team, and they get all the local beauticians and haircutters, and they come in and take care of as many seniors
That's
as they
amazing.
can. Yeah, it's a nice
That's
gift.
amazing.
And
Just
they do it for hospitals. They do it for a lot of different
Yeah.
organizations, but we commandeer to get them to do Santa Cruz at Bella Vita 4 times a year.
I thought it would be. Last time I went back east, I took my mom to get a pedicure because she needed it, and that just the pedicure alone was $50 without a tip.
Right, right.
So
And the self-esteem that says, my nails look good is a big
Yeah.
thing, especially for seniors.
Oh, yes.
And and the guys need it too.
Yeah.
They need it more than the women, frankly.
Yeah, we're not going
So
there.
we can do the eyebrows and we're okay. So yeah, no, we're grateful for the beauty bus. We do that. We got the bingo's back, and lots of room at Bella Vita for the bingo. So that's up and going. So we're excited. There's a lot going on. You got to check out that website. It's all the different activities flying.
all right, so tell me again the website because I'm a little confused about the website. Yeah.
SEVCOA.org.
Okay, so I'm totally lost here. Was it always that, or am I missing something?
No, it's always been that. It's always been that. We will be changing the name to a simpler name in the future, trust me. But for now, that's what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you Google,
I'm having a senior
if you
moment.
Google if you Google Santa Cruz Valley Senior Center, you'll find it too. So,
Okay. Yeah.
so we're out there and going.
Okay, great.
Well, there's all kinds of things that are going on every day at the senior center. I mean, you can go in there and they've got a page there, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the days are completely filled with things that seniors can do and enjoy doing. And I love the library there.
Good. I'm glad you're doing. You
Oh
support
my
that.
goodness! I should have brought him today. I had him at the door and forgot him. Got a bag full of books to bring to you.
Okay.
So, but yeah, and that library is full. So much of the time. Every time I've been there and walked down the hall, I mean, almost every table in there is full, and men and women are reading.
Yeah, that's a lost art.
That's right.
But I don't think so much for seniors.
Yeah,
I think I've been doing more reading in the last, 5-10 years than I ever did.
And we want to leave that option open for them. So
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
lots going on. Senior Center Month, so we're very proud of that. If you could spread the word, and if anyone needs a meal in the community, make sure they contact us.
That's
Yes.
awesome. So
Yes.
one quick rundown. We've got the John Denver show, which is kind of special. It's more than just your regular concert series things. This is a special event. You've got your John Denver show. Obviously, it's not John for reasons that we don't want to go into here. October 5th at the Senior Center, Bella Vita Senior Center. It starts at 4, and there are some premium packages available.
Yes.
And it sounds great. And here's the nicest thing for anybody my age or over. It's an early night. You're gonna
That's
get
the
out
nice
of there.
part about it.
And the street lights are just becoming on. It's getting dark earlier, so I don't feel so bad anymore. Okay, and on the 10th, October 10th, which is a Thursday, you have resource fair for seniors and online scamming awareness course and lunch.
Yes.
All there. That's amazing.
Couple of good days. Come on by.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, Barb, what's the number to call?
661-259-9444.
And I'm sorry, Kevin, you got to tell me the website again.
Website is myscvcoa.org.
Okay. Sounds great. Kevin MacDonald, Senior Center, Bella Vita, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you here. You've been listening to the Senior Hour, KHTS FM 98.1 AM 1220, hometownstation.com.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Thomas Polucki, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And our guest now is the one and only Miles McNamara, who is one of our sponsors, Comfort Keepers in Home Care.
Woohoo!
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Likewise.
Life treating you well?
Just bobbing and weaving like everyone else, you know.
Ain't that the truth?
But yeah, it's good to be here. I missed last month, so I missed
I
your
know.
guys' faces.
Aw.
You know, but it's good to be back, and you know, just for folks, I always like to do a quick recap of folks who haven't maybe been, have been living in a cave about what home care is that, we're non-medical, so we're personal attendants, and our goal, our Comfort Keepers, go into the homes of our seniors and provide the home care that they need to, hygiene, meals, medication reminders, taking them to the doctors, keeping the house straight, anything they need. Sometimes they need standby assist if they're fall risk. So our Comfort Keepers go in and just make their life independent, and then they're able to stay in their own home, which is the large majority of what folks want to do.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I've got some questions. One, are these people who are going into my mom's house who, has some memory and cognitive issues, are they licensed and bonded?
Wonderful question. Wish everyone would ask that. We used to be a non-licensed industry, so anybody could throw up a shingle and say,
Home care.
we're home care,
Yes.
and you didn't know who you were getting. Licensure came about 5-6 years ago. So now to be proper and legal, you have to have a license.
Right.
And we didn't change any of our protocols with licensure, but it sure weeded the garden, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
Because, we were already doing everything that licensure demanded, which is we do complete criminal background checks, on the Department of Justice level and local. We fingerprint, credit, sometimes we'll do credit checks, but not often. It just depends. We have to play that one by ear. But they're bonded. They're insured. We've got $3 million liability policy. All these things that it was funny when the licensure came along, we're like, whew, thank you.
Yeah.
But we don't have to change anything. We've already got this stuff in place. But of course, Comfort Keepers also is a national and international franchise. So we already set the bar very high. And as far as selection process and training, and we even have a caregiver skill lab at my office on Lyons Avenue, where it's set up like a home of a senior. We've got a hospital bed in there, and we can be doubles a regular bed, but sometimes that's the case.
Do you have the plastic coated couch?
No. But we have all the walking, we have walkers, we have, any walking aid, we can work on transfers. We have a lift, a mechanical lift, because sometimes our clients need to have a lift to be transferred from the bed to a chair or vice versa. So yeah, and we've always opened that skills lab up to family caregivers who they don't even have to be on service with us. I mean, if they're thrust into the role of a family caregiver and they want to be taught how to do a proper transfer and save your back, or operate a mechanical lift or do an occupied bed change, just give us a call, come on down, and we'll have one of my care managers walk you through the safe and proper techniques.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So you can just call. There's not like a set time for these trainings?
Well, you need to call us and make an appointment.
Yeah.
I mean, walk-ins are acceptable if somebody's there, but
Right.
my care managers are out in the field a lot.
Sure.
But we're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30, the office, but we're available 24/7. I have an after-hours number that people can call if they need emergency service or if one of our clients need to get a hold of us.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
I've only been doing it for 23 years.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all.
My goodness.
But it's really rewarding. It's cool. Entangled with the senior center as well, as you might imagine. I love supporting our local senior center. The seniors, it's sometimes tough to make that transition to age in place. Most want to stay in their own home, but many times, they're thrust into an assisted living or a skilled nursing home. Assisted living is a great option if that's what they want, but that's the key phrase, if that's what they want, rather than, having no option because, they've been in that home for decades, their family memories are there, you name it.
Well, what was interesting is what's very important, in my opinion, is to get long-term care insurance.
Yeah, because it is private pay. You're right.
It's very, very important.
Yeah. So,
'Cause
Miles,
I remember I said to Russ, "Let's get this." He said, "No."
Yeah. No,
I
it's very
got
important.
it anyway.
If you can,
and
plan for the future.
it paid 65% of the long-term care.
Okay, so
that
I
Russ
have a
needed,
question.
which was 24/7.
Yeah. So, Miles, does that cover you? Does long-term care insurance cover your service?
Yes, that's the only thing
Okay.
that does cover us besides private pay.
Gotcha.
I mean, we keep hoping Medicare and Medi-Cal would step up, but
So far, they haven't,
well,
unfortunately.
they have this thing here in California. I mean, they do this in other states. They have what they call Medicaid waiver, but here it's
Yes.
Medi-Cal, and they've got their state-ran in-home supportive services.
Yeah, I can
which-
attest to the disappointment in that system.
Yeah. I'll just lead in with a big no comment. But yeah, so hopefully someday that, will give way to Medi-Cal waiver out here where, they can give our seniors some assistance. Because there's a lot of folks who fall into that donut hole who can't afford home care. They don't have long-term care. So it's very difficult. But hopefully one day.
Yeah.
But long-term care is
And
important.
it's
as far as-
very, very important, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced the use of it.
And some Medicare Advantage plans have put their toe in the pond, where they've covered, like there's SCAN, there's Kaiser, there's a couple of the Advantage plans that have done the cost analysis and say, well, if we prevent that broken hip or if we, whatever, prevent that hospitalization, the bean counters have said, let's pay for some preventative home care. And speaking of Medicare and Medicare Advantage plans, I mean, and it's a very important time of year coming up, which is called open enrollment. Every year, October 15th through December 7th, you can hopefully get a professional to assist you, but review your coverage. If you have straight up Medicare or if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, this is the time you can change coverage. And without any penalty or that type of thing. And folks' health changes throughout the year. So maybe you're on a new medication now that your existing coverage doesn't cover. The formularies change from year to year with the Advantage plans and Medicare as well. The co-pays change, but your situation may have changed 180 from a year ago. So, now you're paying a larger copay. Some of your formularies or your medications are no longer covered. Deductibles, as I said, they fluctuate. So I would advise anyone, who's on Medicare, Medicare Advantage plan or straight Medicare to review it with somebody, an insurance professional that works in that field. And, any changes in medication, health, whatever happened in the last year. But this is the time, October 15th through December 7th, is review your coverage. Sometimes a Medicare Advantage plan is better. Because Medicare, you have to a lot of times get what they call a Medigap coverage or supplemental coverage, because Medicare only covers 80% of hospitalizations. So there's a lot of the 80-20 with the straight up Medicare. So a lot of folks then have to pay an additional premium. There's different companies out there with different cost factors, but they get supplemental insurance to cover that deductible straight up Medicare. Whereas some Medicare Advantage plans, everything's paid. I'm currently on one. I won't give them a free plug, but it's tremendous. There's no need for a Medigap policy. My co-pays are ridiculously low. My out-of-pocket per year is $2,000 in co-pays if I ever get that high. So it's really important to not get stuck in your coverage when your health situation has changed. So really mark that down, folks, if you're listening out there. October 15th through December 7th, review your coverage and see if a change is right for you.
It's interesting because last year I considered going to the Medicare Advantage plan. They didn't cover any of my doctors.
Yeah, well, that's the downside of Medicare Advantage. You do have to go to their doctors, but
you do.
Sometimes the cost effectiveness of it is so huge, it's something to at least consider.
Well, last year it wasn't for me because it didn't cover any of my doctors, not one of them, and it didn't cover a medicine.
Yeah.
That I was taking.
Yeah, the formulary, very valid point.
And I thought, wait a minute. I've got Medicare and Anthem Blue Cross, and it takes care of my doctors.
But do you have a Medigap coverage? Do you have a supplemental plan that covers the deductibles?
No, I don't know what that is.
Meaning, for God forbid, you go to the hospital, they're only going to cover 80%, so you're going to be responsible.
Medicare will, but my other insurance.
Okay, so you do have supplemental.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they call that Medigap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it covers that donut hole of what's not covered by Medicare. They call it gap insurance.
Yeah.
So
no, I have all that, but I was so disappointed because I wanted to get on the Medicare Advantage plan.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to change my doctors, not at my stage of life. If I was in my 30s or 40s, then I would,
Yeah.
well,
no, that's
wouldn't
a
be available.
very valid point.
But
at least you reviewed it.
Oh, yes, I absolutely
did. You made the choice that was right for you.
Yes.
And that's what I encourage all to do is at least review it. Have that conversation. Check your coverage. Are you on new medication? Fourth time I've said that, but it's so important to go to the pharmacy, and all of a sudden they're saying that'll be $310, and you're used to paying a $5 copay, because they literally change their formularies year to year. So it's really important to stay on top of that.
Okay,
Oh, yes.
So for me, what do you mean by formulary?
Formulary means your prescription. I mean, a certain high blood pressure medication may have been covered by your insurance this year, but come next year, that's no longer covered. So now there's going to be a larger cost involved.
Gotcha.
Might not be a great example. High blood pressure medicine is so varied and whatever, but it's just, if some folks are on pain medication or if they're on some sort of, heart medication or, and for whatever reason, the insurance companies have decided that's cost effective now to change and not cover that medication anymore.
Right.
And a lot of times I've not been able to, I haven't experienced this. So I say this with some hesitation, but I don't think you get a letter in the mail saying, "Hey, next year we're not going to cover your medication."
No,
so
and that's
you've got to
the
be
thing
on top
about
of that yourself.
That's the thing. I appreciate you coming in and talking about this because I've been in the healthcare industry for 35 years, and when it came time for my wife to get on a specific plan that she needed specific services for, we needed professional help. There was no way. They make it nearly impossible
Yeah.
to navigate that system on your own. And Barb can attest to the fact that even with someone helping you, sometimes they point you in the wrong direction.
Absolutely.
But there are a lot of great people out there who don't really have a vested interest in which one you pick.
Right.
They're just there to try to get you to what you need. And sometimes it's not the cheapest option out there, but it's the one that's going to give you what you need.
And real quick, I said I wasn't going to do this, but he's been so kind with when my mother was here and with me and other people. Is Paul Davis Insurance. Yeah, the only thing he can't do is negotiate on behalf of Kaiser. You have to call a Kaiser Member Services yourself for that. But as far as looking over your situation, looking at your prescription meds, looking at your coverages, your deductibles, your copays, I just speak from personal opinion. So if you're listening, Paul, thank you. But Paul Davis Insurance is a great expert who can review your
I
coverage.
used him.
Did you?
Paul.
He's been around a bit. Been around for a minute.
Yeah.
As we all have.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Senior Hour, KHTS, FM 98.1, AM 1220, hometownstation.com.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Thomas Polucki, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with one of the sponsors of the show from Comfort Keepers in-Home Care, the one and only Miles McNamara.
Here.
Yes. Good to see you again. Let's go.
All right, Miles, in the first segment, Kevin from the Senior Center was talking about some scams, senior scams.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, so...
Two minds run together.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works out. So can you tell us, what's going on with... first of all, have you seen The Beekeeper?
No, I have not.
It's a great movie.
Is that about scams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Beekeeper. Well, the biggest thing that I really try to warn, not just seniors, but everybody, because it's getting so darn prevalent out there, is AI, artificial intelligence. The way that it can gather whatever personal information you have out there and create these robocalls, or what they call phishing, PFISHING, where they're replicating your bank's logo and credit card logos, everything identical. So never ever click on a link that you get in an email. Call your institution with the number to be true to find out what's going on. But it's the type of thing where you're even getting texts now, and this is important. It's kind of new, where it says, USPS or UPS has attempted to deliver a package. Click here to verify.
I get them
your
all the time.
address. Yeah.
I get a couple a week.
So if you're getting any text from the USPS or the UPS or anybody, do not click that link. Delete it, block that number, whatever you can do. And we've heard stories, I think I talked about this once a moon ago, where folks are being taken in by getting a call from their grandson, granddaughter, whatever, that they've been, arrested overseas or wherever, and they need bail money. Please don't tell mom, she'll kill me. But if you can wire $500, and it's not them, it's an artificial intelligence voice that has been replicated. I know folks here in Santa Clarita that have fallen for that.
Oh, my goodness.
And what you can do to prevent that, and do this in person, not over an electronic device, not over the phone, because Big Brother's listening, is with all your family members and loved ones, create an AI password. So if you ever get a call from somebody that sounds like one of your relatives, one of your loved ones, grandkids, whatever, ask them straight up, what's our password? Because if you do that in person, it's so crazy. Don't do it standing next to Alexa. Don't do it standing next to your home Google.
Your iPhone.
Your iPhone.
Even if it's supposedly not on.
And you're not going crazy. How often have you been talking to somebody about a product?
All of a sudden,
and then all
you see is
open
ads
your
for
social media and you see an ad
that's
for
what
that
a coincidence.
Yeah. So create that password in the cone of silence for all you Get Smart fans out there. there, so that only you, your family, loved ones, whatever, know that password. I have one with my daughters, so if I ever get a call, we say, what's the password?
Right.
It's so important. And then, because whenever I do see them, I check in with them. Do you remember our password? I don't do it over text. I don't know when I'm talking to them, say, you remember our password? Because again, think about
It's
those
over
ads
there.
that pop
That's
up when
right.
you talk about, getting some new sandals or something, and then you're flooded with ads about sandals.
Yep.
It's not.
Well, even on my phone, it says the numbers potential spam.
Yeah.
Potential spam.
Yeah, they're getting good
Oh,
at
my
deflating
goodness.
that too. But I get emails constantly. I bank with Wells Fargo, and everything looks
right.
exactly like
Yep.
the valid one.
Yep.
And
I
so
get 'em
I
from Bank
ignore
of
most of
America,
those, and
too.
I'll call if it might be some trivial a lot of times too. So I just delete it. But if it's something like, I'll call Wells Fargo with a number I know to be true, and sure enough, I've actually another thing too is I know we're running out of time is. My office has been called a multitude of times now by the power company saying there was a mix-up in my bill and to just go ahead and make this payment now to prevent power cut off, and we'll credit it on your next bill.
Yep.
Oh my.
I actually called the Santa
goodness.
Cruz Sheriff about that, so that's a scam as well. If
Yep.
someone calls you to say there's a mix-up in your bill, let's settle it today, you'll be credited next month, hang up.
Yep. Always a great show to have you on, Miles. Our Keystone sponsor of the
Keystone
show.
Cop.
Keystone Cop of the show. Miles McNamara, Comfort Keepers. Give us a phone number, please.
661-287-4200.
Thank you so much. You've been listening to Senior Hour, KHTS FM 98.1 AM 1220, hometownstation.com. We're brought to you by Miles at Comfort Keepers and Providence Holy Cross. Now go out and enhance your quality of life.